Welcome one, welcome all to the Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia. I am Austin Edstrom, standing alongside Nick Stein and Austin Derbyshire behind the production booth for tonight's Ryco Performance Friday night top split action from the Martinsville Speedway. Cannot wait to get this one kicked off. Nick, how excited are you for this one? I remember we had a great time calling this race in the fall.
I was gonna say, based on how that fall race went when we were in the booth, we are in for a long night. But this race is 50 laps shorter than that fall race was, thank goodness. So less laps equals less torture for us two up in the booth, but it does mean some better racing action because guys don't have as much time to just sit around and do nothing. They actually have to get going a little bit sooner. So it's gonna be a fun one here tonight.
I don't know if fun is the correct word, but it will be exciting. You will have plenty of entertainment value in tonight's race. I can promise you that as we get the Google Earth sky view of the Martinsville Speedway. Maybe a little bit too long of a Google Earth view of the tiniest track on the NASCAR circuit, I gotta say. Might need this, slow it down just a little bit. I'm just kidding though. But into our championship standings at the smallest racetrack, smallest. Nicholas Roman up at the top, Garrett Maines in second, Jacob Schneider third, Alex Murray fourth, and Matt DiCiani in fifth place. Bruno Miller just right behind in sixth, Sean Conklin surprisingly far back in the seventh place spot, Jacob Schneider eighth, Joseph Gulata in ninth, and Joseph Squared rounds out the top 10 in the championship standings for the NiS season so far. I'm really shocked to see Sean Conklin back in seventh.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's focusing on RTP, not mistaken.
Well, that would be fair. If his focus is elsewhere, then credit to him. Good luck.
Like I said, don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's actually true, but from what I've heard, he is focusing on RTP. So, but looking at our keys to the race real quick, I mean, it's Martinsville. I couldn't come up with anything better. You got to save the rears here. If you get on the rears too hard, you're going to light them up and you're going to loop it out of turn 2 or turn 4. So just save the rears. And then secondly, corner chaos. It's Martinsville. It's a short track. It's gonna get tight and it's gonna be fun. Just watch for the corner, the chaos on the corners. I mean, one car can go spinning. It can turn from 1 car to 15 in the span of 3 seconds. And then, lastly, get comfortable. It's Martinsville. We all know it's Martinsville. It's gonna be a long night. There's gonna be a lot of cautions. There's gonna be a lot of wrecks. Get comfortable because it's gonna be a long night.
I think I remembered. What was it? Last year, somebody on Twitch did either a half-length or a full-length Martinsville race and was somehow able to pit 100 times because of all the cautions. So, like you said, we're probably going to have plenty of time to sit and relax tonight, but we're going to jump right into our broadcast picks. Up first, obviously myself. It's kind of bad. I don't even remember who I picked. It was Edward Short Jr. I was looking through the leaderboard trying to remember who the heck I picked. That shows you how little faith I have in Ed tonight, but he is my pick nonetheless.
My pick is going to be my good buddy Alex Murray in the 5 car. I think he's got a pretty good fast car under him as well. And in the Derby, picking, I believe that's Tommy Gossett in the 16. So,
man, if you're already sighing like that, I'm a little worried for tonight, buddy. That was a heavy one. We're not even going yet.
I am scared.
I am too. I'm worried we're going to be here all night. For all the people at home, I'm sure you can make a fun drinking game out of this. Unfortunately, we will not be participating, and hopefully none of the drivers will either, but I'm sure you can find some fun things to do.
Hey, let's be honest.
Friday night.
Let's be honest. Not in top split. There's not these guys doing the drinking game, but let's be honest. There's probably some people in the lower splits that are.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's.
I would not be surprised if there's already people that have gotten a few in already, and the race hasn't even gotten green yet.
Race has not gotten green, but it's about to, so we're going to jump into our starting grid. Sean Conklin on the inside of row number 1. Getting that pole over Nicholas Roman by just over half a tenth of a second. Starting in the 3rd place position, Garrett Maines in the number 1. 4th place is going to be Alex Murray starting right alongside of him. 5th place, Andrew Dyson. 6th, Tyler Robinson. 4th row is going to be Joshua Watson and Richard Garcia. And Roger Pierce and JR Borborema will round out your top 10.
Miller Bond's going to be starting in 11th position tonight with Chris Wilhite to his outside. John Pace is going to be in 13th position with Cade McClinney in 14th. Sean Rogers in the 21 machine going to be starting 15th tonight with Austin's pick Ed Scherrer Jr. in 16th position. Nolan Hodgson going to be in 17th position with Jason Willett in 18th position. Bruno Pereira, I think is Pereira is going to be in 19th position, and Adam Thompson running out your top 20.
Jose Acosta is going to be starting in the 21st position with Tanner Love right alongside of him on the outside. Rob Peterson in 23rd, James Miller 24th. Tommy Gossett, our producer's pick, starting all the way back in the 25th place position. Jacob Klein starting in 26th. Kyle Trudell is going to be starting in 27th with Danielle Forgy. For Giarini, and the 28th spot, our final qualifier of the evening, Dalton Collins did not set a time. We'll start in 29th, and Trevor Trago will start in 30th.
Lucas Lodato going to be starting in 31st position with Luis Ettinger in 32nd position. Brandon Misichewski in 33rd position with John Broussard in 34th. Ronnie Kuritz in 35th, and Sean Signor starting in 36th. Shotgun in the field tonight.
That's going to do it. 36 cars out here on Martinsville. And, you know, if I was at Talladega, if I was at Las Vegas, if I was at Atlanta, I'd be pretty excited with 36 car field here for the NiS season. But tonight, I'm really hoping for about 32 or 33. I was hoping for the lower numbers.
Hey, okay, hold on. But before we get started tonight, I went back and looked. The fall Martinsville race that we did together, the first caution happened within 5 laps. Over, under, do we get a caution before lap 4?
The first caution will come on lap 2.
Are you set in stone on that?
Sorry, you know what? I'm going to say 3 because I've called 2 races so far this week at Martinsville. The first one, there was a caution on lap 1. The second one, there was a caution on lap 2. So I'm going to go on a limb and say the third one, we will have a caution on lap 3.
I'll go and be nice and say we're going to have one on lap 4.
Ooh, generous.
Let's hear producer Austin's pick. What does he got for us?
He said lap 2. So we're all, a lot of faith in the broadcast booth tonight.
A lot of faith in this top split.
As you can see on the top right, over/under is 24.5 cautions for tonight. We had 250 laps in the fall, and we had how many cautions? 29?
31.
31. We had 31 cautions in the fall with 250 laps. We only have 200 tonight. I'm banging the over. I think we're getting 26 tonight. Sean Conklin comes out of turn number 4 as Barney the Flagman has that green flag ready to wave. He gets that right arm moving, and Sean Conklin gets that right foot pumping down on the throttle down into turn 1. Back down on the brakes. Sean Conklin trying to take that spot, keep the position over Nicholas Roman, I should say. Garrett Maines to the inside of Roman. All clean throughout the field off of corner number 2. So already doing a little bit better than I've seen a couple guys do so far this week. But I really don't want to jinx it. The 27. The 27. He saves it. He saves it on the inside of the racetrack. We're still green.
I was getting ready to say, on the outside line is 4th place in line, or 2nd place in line. Alex Murray got a really slow start there and fell back a little bit, but Sean Conklin now running from the 12 of Garrett Maines is now. These guys going to be going for a pretty huge fight. Lap number 3 here started at Martinsville.
Well, look at that. We made it past our producer's pick. We've made it past lap 2 with no caution. I'm going to celebrate every save we have here out of these corners tonight like it is the biggest championship win of ever. I'm telling you, every save. Sean Conklin, they make it past my lap as well. It's not lap 3, so Nick, the only one that's still in the fight right here, has got his lap 4 pick, but everybody working through 1 and 2, still looking good. That lap counter is incorrect. Now it has corrected to 4.
Let me win something for once, please.
Nope, Conklin's on 5. We're done.
Oh.
They are surpassing our expectations big time here tonight.
Oh, and Garrett Maines is giving the old bumper to Sean Conklin off of turn number 2 to the inside. The 12 of Garrett Maines. Looks like he's going to make the move. Conklin going to squeeze him, though, just a little bit, but Garrett Maines not phased one bit and takes over the child at Ryco Performance.
Did you just say he overtakes the child?
Yes.
That's so mean. Mandalorian iRacing version. Like, I don't... Sean Conklin, the child, is coming through in second place. Calling him the child for the rest of the time we ever broadcast. Sean Conklin coming through.
That's going to be his new nickname, the child.
That sucks. I can't believe you've just done this to the poor man. Either way, somehow we're on lap 7. The broadcast booth has devolved just as quickly as it did in the last Martinsville race, but the racing on the racetrack has not. It's been amazing.
Sean Conklin almost gets a little bit loose there. I can't even say his name with a straight face now.
Oh man, dude, I really hope that he wins this race so I can really give a hell of a call coming out of turn number 4 utilizing the child.
Or if he just gets an interview tonight, we'll just bring him in and say, "Hey, Sean Conklin, the child, how are you?"
Oh, Sean the Child Conklin. No. Okay, we're beating the dead horse. If he listens to this back, he's gonna feel bad. I want to point out, I want just so Sean feels a little bit better if he does listen to this back, because dude, don't get me wrong, I get it. I get called kid at work by the CEO, and I am 26, so I get it. But Sean is unbelievably quick. So us saying the child is actually unbelievably, it's more of a good thing, because it's ridiculous that he is absolutely as quick as he is whenever he is legally a child. There's not many people younger than him that are faster than him. There might not be any, and there's definitely not any older or many older. But lap number 11, the caution comes out.
And yeah, caution.
And the depression has set in.
It has set in that we are in here for a long time.
I was very hopeful that we were really gonna go for a little while on that first run. Like, once it gets spread, you can maybe see it running for 30, 40, 50 laps. Once it gets spread out, maybe. But I was thinking once we got to that lap 10 mark, we could possibly see it snowball. But unfortunately, that's not the case.
Looks like that caution was Lucas Lodato in the 23 getting sent into turn number 1.
Well, you got to love a lack of patience from somebody on lap number 10, but you know what? I'm not surprised. This is Martinsville. He's not going to be the last one to get ran over tonight. That is for sure.
I was going to say, it's lap 12 and somebody has already gotten run over. It is definitely not the last, for sure. I'm surprised it took us that long to get a caution, if I'm being honest. Like as bad as that is to say.
Well, we're finally going to get a replay of it here. Coming down into turn number 1, the 23. 27 down on the inside. Well, he definitely did wash up and take out the 23, but I don't know, on lap 10, maybe, I don't know, he got in there late. I definitely put more of that on the 27 coming through, just 23 out in his own lane. Unfortunate. I hope maybe everybody leaves a little bit more room, but a little touch sends him around, and he's out of here. I see Callie H in the chat here for Nolan, number 12. Good luck to number 12, Nolan. I was thinking she was talking about Garrett Maines whenever I saw the number 12 with him having the 12 out there on the racetrack. I think we have a good couple of 12s out here. So
I'm pretty sure that makes us have 4 tonight. 4 number 12s. Garrett Maines, Miller Bonds. We have the number 12, J.R. Borberama, and now Nolan Hodgson, number 12.
Yeah. Wonder how many more we got. I feel like that might be the most common number out here tonight on the racetrack.
I'm pretty sure
Garrett
that's been
Maines
the most
popularizing
common number
it, maybe?
for a while.
12? Really?
Yeah, we had Atlanta. I'm pretty sure we had 6 number 12s in that race.
Why do people like 12 so much all of a sudden? I guess Ryan Blaney did just win the championship last year, but is that enough reason to pick 12?
No.
Maybe it's because they all know Garrett Maines is going to win. Sorry, I think I just lagged out a little bit there. I think it's because they all know Garrett Maines is going to win the Coke Series this year, so
Believe we have lost Austin Edstrom there, unfortunately for him. But coming to the green flag, Garrett Maines is going to be leading him. He's going to hit the gas pedal here. Green flag back in the air here at Martinsville Raceway. He's going to get the... Is it Martinsville Raceway? It is Martinsville Speedway. Oopsie. I am dumb. Anyway, Garrett Maines does get clear of Sean Conklin, and now Nicholas Vroman wanting to get into that second spot here. Conklin, though, taking it deep around the outside here. Trying everything he can to keep that second place, and it looks like he will, as Vroman's not really going to be able to do much here. And yeah, Conklin will get clear as we got another caution on the racetrack and more problems as the 41 gets put into Joshua Watson, and Joshua Watson hits the outside wall there. I don't think that was what our caution was, though. I believe this wreck was a little bit further back, because I'm pretty sure that was a secondary wreck there. I have to see if we can get a replay here. I think this was coming off of 4. And we're having a little bit of issues with the replay, so apologies about that. I'm still trying to look for the wreck myself, so... because my computer absolutely despises Martinsville because of how many cars are within the same half mile here. So, yeah, my computer is not having a good time right now. I believe we're still waiting on this replay here. I think we're having some issues with the replay, unfortunately. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna get this replay, unfortunately. I'm not able to see what the cause of the caution was either, as it looks like it was actually, I think I just caught it. Yeah, it was Miller Bonds getting into Andrew Dyson and sending Andrew Dyson around. That was the cause of our caution. So Garrett Main's still leading here, ahead of Sean Conklin. Vroman in third position, Alex Murray fourth. Dyson's going to be in fifth position with Miller Bonds in sixth. Tyler Robertson seventh. Richard Garcia eighth. Chris Wilhide's going to be in ninth with J.R. Borber-Raymond rounding out your top 10 here. As we have just hit the, I believe, is that 10%? Yeah, that's 10% of the way. Lap 20 out of 200. Yeah, caught it right there on the edge of your screen. Andrew Dyson getting a little tap off the corner from Miller Bonds. See right here, getting the one. Bonds really deep onto the brake there. Actually, this was a bit of an accordion as Murray had to check up in front of him. And why was that a caution? Unless the caution was already out for that. So it looks like there was another wreck somewhere and we just weren't able to catch it. But coming back to the green flag here, Garrett Main's going to be leading, of course, ahead of Sean Conklin. Vroman in third and Murray going to be in fourth. Your first two rows here as pace car makes the hard right turn there onto pit road. Excuse me, hard left turn onto pit road. Garrett Main's going to take it up the track just a little bit to hopefully get a better run here through the Geico restart zone. And as they hit said restart zone, Garrett Main's going to hit the gas hard. Green flag back in the air here at Martinsville Speedway. He's going to get well clear of Sean Conklin, and Conklin and Vroman going to be doing this battle once again as they try to see who's going to get this second spot here. It looks like things are starting to kick off a little bit further back. 3 wide further back in the field here. These guys not really taking any sort of calm or cool or collected for that matter, and 3 wide still. Back up front here, this is another caution on the racetrack as I believe we have another spin somewhere. This is getting into one here. Looks like another accordion effect. Lucas Lodato, ow! Just nailing the outside wall for everything it is worth there. Get a look at a extremely long cockpit view here from Lucas Lodato. Gets into the corner, gets on that seam, and bam, right into the outside wall. Tough break for that 23 car based out of the University of Cincinnati. Cincy light paint scheme there. As I believe this is our third caution of the night, so those of you who bet the under are maybe starting to sweat a little bit as we're just over 10% of the way in with 3 cautions. That means we're on track for about 25, I would say, based on some very quick, very crude math. But your top 10 really has not changed. Garrett Main's, Conklin Vroman. I get the feeling I'm going to be saying this a lot tonight. Garrett Main, Sean Conklin, Vroman as your top 3. I get the feeling I'm going to be saying that a lot. So get used to hearing me say that, because I'm more than likely going to be saying that under every caution, because I don't really have much else to talk about under caution. And considering the fact Austin and his very, very bad PC decided to leave me here, I get to talk to myself for however long until his computer reboots. So Austin, if you're listening, please hurry up. Pace car lights are out as the field should be coming back to green here. It's one good thing about Martinsville is the cautions are incredibly short here. However, there are a lot of cautions, so it gets very repetitive very quickly. But once again, Garrett Main's going to be leading the field back to green. Pace car makes the hard left turn on to pit road. Sean Conklin going to be in second. Roman in third and Alex Murray in fourth. Basically a carbon copy of your start, minus the first 2 positions being reversed. But coming off a turn number 4, Garrett Mains has control. He's going to hit it early. Green flag back in the air here at Martinsville. And Froman's going to get clear of the 22 or the 54 of Sean Conklin. Alex Murray now going to be stuck on the outside. He's got Andrew Dyson to his inside here. A couple of 100% Cup Series foes, if you remember back to that league last year. But Murray going to get clear. Further back, you got Chris Wilhite. And I believe that's the 33 car there getting a little bit up in arms over, I believe that's right on the edge of the top 10. That's Sean Rogers there for the 8th position, or excuse me, the 9th position, as looks like Wilhite will get clear. And now things start to single file out here as Richard Garcia gives the bumper to Miller Bonds there going into turn 3. And it sounds like Richard Garcia is voicing his frustrations as Sean Rogers going to get sent by Chris Wilhite. A huge wreck here in turn number 1. A car upside down. Ed Sherrod Jr. up in the air. A massive wreck here at Martinsville. That is Austin Edstrom is punching the air right now. That is his race pick there. That ended up upside down. It looks like we may have a little bit of beef between Sean Rogers and Chris Wilhite here. They are voicing their frustrations to each other over the radio. Get a look at the replay here. Looks like Rogers tried to go down on block and Wilhite just wasn't having any of it, and just nowhere for anyone to go as Ed Sherrod Jr. upside down on top of Sean Rogers there. Ends up on top of, I believe that is the 8 car there. See if I can get a name to that 8 car. I believe that was Tommy Gossett, actually, that he was on top of. No, it wasn't. It was not Tommy Gossett. Don't listen to me. On board with Ed Shearer here. Just see how quickly this wreck just explodes in front of him. I mean, 1 minute he's got a clear track. Next thing you know, he's upside down on top of Sean Rogers. And goodness. Now, I've seen my fair share of big wrecks here at Martinsville, but that one for sure takes the cake. I don't think I've ever seen a car upside down like that at Martinsville. That has got to be a first. I mean, I've seen a car flip at Martinsville, but never that aggressively as, oh my goodness. And it was the 28 of Bruno Pereira that he had flipped back on top of after he was upside down. To everyone's shock and horror, Garrett Main still leads this race. Nicholas Roman in second, and Sean Conklin in third position. Alex Murray still fourth, and Andrew Dyson going to be rounding out your top 5, as literally nothing has changed since the last caution, less than 3 laps ago. I still can't get over that. That's got to be one of the biggest wrecks I think I've ever seen at Martinsville. Caution count is up to 4 right now, as we see in the chat there. You know, they need to start making prop bets on cautions in NASCAR races. That'd be That would be entertainment TV right there. Well, we got a little bit of time. These guys are coming to 1 to green. Take a look at our schedule for next week here on GridVision. Of course, next Monday, you're going to have A Open and B Open top split coverage from Texas Motor Speedway, aka the worst track to ever grace the NASCAR schedule. But then Tuesday night, got the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series at Texas Motor Speedway as well. And then Wednesday night, Thunderclap takes on Texas. I believe that is the Legacy Texas as they take on their throwback race. And then Friday night, back here for Ryco Performance Friday night NiS top split coverage. And then Saturday, we got the Major Series at Bathurst. Pretty stacked schedule, full of Texas. Kind of reminded me of Circuit of the Americas a couple weeks ago, as we had a lot of COTA that week. And it's always the Texas tracks that we have the exact same races throughout the week, is what I've noticed so far. It looks like now we should be coming to 1 to go here. Of course, Garrett Maines still leading, but he's got a new face to the outside in the 95 of Nicholas Vroman, Sean Conklin third, and Alex Murray, your first 2 rows as pace car makes the hard left turn onto pit road. Garrett Maines moving him up the track once again here, coming off of turn number 4 and into the Geico restart zone. Gonna hit the gas, actually gonna wait a little bit as he's gonna get pretty well clear of the 95 of Vroman, and that's gonna allow Sean Conklin to get clear of the 95 of Vroman, as well as I believe we have Austin Edstrom back finally.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, well, my Discord's frozen, and I don't have iRacing open yet, so I can't really watch the race. Okay, now my Discord's kind of unfreezing, so I'm seeing Garrett Maines take the stripe here, taking lap number 38, and I have to make an apology. It was a self-enforced error. I might have kicked my power cord out of my computer.
I have never faced palms so hard around you, Austin.
I mean, it was bad. It was bad.
Jesus, man.
I apologize.
You had to torture our viewers by making me do play-by-play for 20 laps. What is wrong with you?
Here's the deal. You're right, but you need to look at this as a learning experience. You're able to get valuable experience of calling a race by yourself. You're welcome.
At Martinsville, no less. What is wrong with you?
Exactly. So you didn't really even have too much racing action to call. It was just a bunch of cautions, right?
Yeah, and then one car going upside down.
I saw that wreck. I've been watching in the GridVision chat on my phone, and yeah, my race pick didn't really pan out.
Yeah, your race pick ended up upside down and on fire there, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I don't think they have fire coded in here just
yet. Well,
but...
I mean, that car probably would have been on fire. Let's be honest here.
I don't know about that, but we still got hard racing throughout the field. And are we only on, what, 4 or 5 cautions at this point through 42 laps? That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was our 4th caution, averaging about 1 every 10 laps here.
Nice. I'll take that. That's way better than what we've been getting. I'll take a 1 caution every 10 laps. We've got a side-by-side battle coming out of turn number 2. Still a couple side-by-side battles. Jose Acosta a little bit further back, looking to the inside as well. The 73 takes a spot away from the 10. Jose Acosta back here, outside of the top 20. Trying to take a position away.
Jose Acosta looks like he's going to clear for just a moment Kyle Trudell, but Trudell is going to fight back right around the outside, but go really deep into the corner. That is going to give up the position to Roger Pierce, and now Brandon Masajewski going to be trying to get under and around the 7 of Roger Pierce there. That's not Roger Pierce, that's Kyle Trudell. No.
Still waiting on my iRacing to load up, unfortunately. I might need to upgrade my PC here pretty soon. This is
yeah, that's like the 4th time this has happened.
This is unreal. Well, to be fair, the other ones were not me kicking my power cord out. This one was, and it definitely lasted a little bit longer, I think. It was a little bit of a lengthier reboot than I am accustomed to. But Will Height here on the inside of Wallet in the 76. That last accident, I did watch it on my phone. I feel bad for Will Height. I mean, he just kind of got like so swerved over across his nose in the braking zone and then just stomped on the brakes, which obviously you have to hit the brakes because you're going to a corner, but you're asking to get punted if you're going to turn hard left and then stomp on the brakes. So Will Height got the short of the stick, and so did about 10 other drivers that got piled up into that one.
And I mean, that was going back to my second key of the race, corner chaos. That was 1 car sideways turning into 10 and literally, I kid you not, less than a second there. That happened so fast I couldn't keep up, and I literally stumbled over my words trying to get that out.
Dude, I've somehow seen 3 flips at Martinsville in the last 2 days. There's 2 in my race last night. We still have 150 laps in this one. We very well could have another.
I mean, they are getting pretty spread out here, so it looks like we're setting up for hopefully a pretty good long green flag run here. As I mean, there's really nobody within striking distance of each other. I mean, you got a few groupings of cars here and there, but not really anyone battling. As just look through the field, and Sean Signor is the only pass on track right now.
I think my mic did not mute whenever I just did that, unfortunately. Garrett Main's coming through 3 and 4 here.
Garrett Main's already pulled well over a second over Sean Conklin, or just under a second, actually.
Am I still? My iRacing still is not loaded, buddy. I've been back in the broadcast for 13 or 14 laps, and I'm still not back in the surface. This is unreal. Nicholas running home out of that first place spot over Alex Murray. You're racing, and Nick probably he's the only race that really not shot anymore, right? I mean, Goss's 10, but he was involved in that action. He's probably got some damage.
I don't believe was Gossett involved in that.
I thought I remember hearing you say he was on the broadcast. Maybe
I thought I saw an 8 car that Ed Shearer Jr. had flipped it back over onto, but it wasn't Tommy Gossett.
Well, then never mind. Tommy Gossett still's got a chance, so our producer's still in it. It's just I have no chance. I think Shearer might be out of the running at this point.
He's still only a lap down at 34th position somehow after ending up upside down. So he's
started dropping a lot of positions here through the pack. Maybe we're getting to the point where if you really hurt those tires at the beginning, they're starting to hurt. Yeah,
for sure. And I mean, we're getting up to the point where Garrett Main's is going to start encountering some traffic here, as Ronnie Kuritz is 16.9 seconds off of Garrett Main's, and Garrett Main's already starting to see the brunt of lap traffic here. I mean, we're looking at Ed Shearer Jr. here, and that's right in front of your leader, Garrett Main's. So traffic is going to become a big part of this race in a very real way here in about 3 or 4 laps.
Yeah, Garrett Main's quickly catching that lap traffic, trying to run them down, but that will probably bring Conklin, Vroman, Murray up into this. I mean, Main's will get by a couple of them pretty quick, but at some point it is just going to get really stacked up, and he's going to have a hard time going anywhere.
Yeah, that's the fun part about these long green flag runs. I mean, first off, it's green flag running, which you're really not used to at Martinsville, and second off, it's the traffic. Getting through the traffic is a bit of a challenge, a bit of a race itself. I mean, because even here, just an 0.8 of a second lead can be evaporated in a couple of corners, purely because of the difference in speed of lap traffic, especially in this top split. I mean, you got Garrett Main's running 19.5s right now, and Ronnie Kuritz right now running 19.9. So 0.4 of a second doesn't seem like a lot, but at Martinsville, that is a huge gap in time.
Yeah, lap over lap, losing 0.4 of a second. Good luck. You're, yeah, that's just not gonna be cutting it here. You're gonna be able to stay on the lead lap at any point. Or if you're losing 0.4 to somebody, I mean, you're dropping like a rock. That's rough, lap over lap, like you mentioned. Garrett Main's though is kind of picking up on these guys. He's right on the back bumper now. He's right on the back bumper of the entire lap train right here. The 30, just a little bit further back from everybody else, but as soon as he passes them, he'll be right on the back bumper of 10, 12 cars lined up in a train.
Yeah, and this is the, excuse me, the difficult part about getting through lap traffic at Martinsville is you feel like, oh yeah, I got through one. It won't be that bad. And then you look ahead and then you see 15 more and you're sitting here like, oh, this is going to be my life for the next 40 laps.
Yeah, and that is going to be Garrett Main's life here for at least now. You say 40 laps. It's only 40 laps if we stay green. If the caution comes out, he'll be saved at any point from having to get through the lap traffic and allowing Sean Conklin to get closer. Now, obviously, that brings Sean Conklin right up to his back bumper under the restart, but the leader has such a big advantage and then would get the clean air.
Car sideways right in front of Garrett Main's our leader. But it looks like everyone makes it through cleanly.
There's a car backwards. Yeah, the 30 got involved a little bit. The 36 was the one that was sideways, or sorry, backwards into turn 1. Maybe the intensity was just ratcheting up towards the back half of the field because they saw that race leader coming down behind them and starting to breathe down their throats and give them a little bit of a challenge. Stay on the lead lap. Maybe we started to see some issues as we look at the 36 coming down to turn number 1.
Ooh.
Just loses it under braking all by himself.
Yeah, and as the 34 of Forgerani is trying to turn a right back around.
Oh my goodness, Roman. 36 just walks it down the racetrack and Roman nowhere to go. Unfortunately, I know you can't blame Roman on that because 36 moved, but if you're Roman, you got to know who you're running with. You got to know who you're around, and you got to know you just got to get on the brakes, and because they're going to move. They're going to move. Again, no fault to Roman, but come on, man. You know who you're racing with on iRacing.
Yeah, for sure, but we got a lot of pit stops going on here as pretty much the entire field that wasn't a lap down coming down pit road now for their first service of the race. 64 laps into the race.
I don't like to say no hate on the 36 either. Just about everybody rolls on iRacing. That's a very common occurrence, but that was still bad. Either way, we're going to use this opportunity as everybody, or a couple people are coming down pit road, to take our first commercial break of the evening. Stay with us to the other side, and we're going to have more Ryco Performance Friday Night Top Split action coming to you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe.
Welcome back to Ryco Performance Monday night, Friday night top split action here in NiS race. That was terrible. Sean Conklin in third place, pushing our race leader, Adam Thompson, who's on the old tires, and Conklin dives down to the bottom of turn number 1. You knew he was going to have that opportunity with the 4 freshies. Sean Conklin up to the race lead, and he's got it back over Garrett Maines now, who kind of gets screwed by Thompson taking no pit stop under that last caution.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw this early on. Sean Conklin had the lead over Garrett Maines, but oh, car on the wall, Thompson, Dyson's around. Dyson is around on the front stretch heading down into turn 1.
Oh, there's 2. There's somebody else involved with him. Oh, Dyson's still wrecking down, almost takes out Noel Hodgson into 12. Jose Acosta goes around the outside. The wreck that never ends. Fortunately for the 41, it looked like he had it saved, but they were still together with another, I think it was Thompson on the outside that he was stuck together with and just could not get that thing saved through turn 1 and looped it around all the way to the back of the pack you go.
Yeah, that was over-aggression there, for sure. I mean, you had 3 wide off of turn number 4 there, and yeah, that was...
He did it to himself.
Yeah, the 3 wide there was uncalled for.
I disagree. I think the 3 wide was fine because Thompson was skating backwards. His problem was that he acted like Thompson was not on his outside.
Yeah, I mean, I said the wrong thing there. It wasn't uncalled for because that was a good move in theory because you're trying to get past the car with old tires, but this early in the race? I mean, technically we're still not early in the race. It just feels like we're still early in the race.
The only reason why I think what should have been okay is, I mean, the guy on his inside gave him a lot of room. I don't remember who it was, but he gave him probably 2 lanes, and that still was not enough. He still ventured out into the 3rd lane on the outside whenever Thompson was in the fence. You know, if somebody's touching the fence and you get right reared by them, it's your fault.
Yeah, and I believe Ed Shearer Jr. going to get back on the lead lap with that caution, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he is back on the lead lap. So Austin, even though he's missing a front bumper, he technically still is in this race. And I've seen cars missing all of their fenders, all of their bumpers go out and win races at Martinsville. So it ain't over until the fat lady sings, and she ain't even warming up yet.
You know, I would agree, but I just don't think Ed Shearer's that good.
Oof.
I'm sorry, I just had to give it to
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm Team Ed. No, his buddy Joseph Kazi was in a race that I called last night, and Kazi was messaging me saying that they acknowledged the crap I was talking about at them during the race. And Ed was his spotter that night. So I had to you know be even, right? I have to pick on both of them.
Yeah. I play MLB The Show with Ed, and I'm gonna make fun of him for that tonight.
And I gotta be honest, Ed is probably, you know, we talk about the 1% a lot in politics and whatnot, and just, you know, whatnot, but Ed has found himself into a very, very exclusive club, more exclusive than the 1%, and that's the Flip at Martinsville club. I mean, that's, how many people have done that?
Not many. I mean, 3 in the last week, but to be fair, that is a rare occurrence.
And even with that, there's a whole lot more than 300, which would make that 1%, people that came out here and raced this week. So, makes him more rare than 1%. Ed Shearer Jr., ladies and gentlemen.
He is a god amongst men. Not for the
and
right
the child.
Yes, it's catching on. Let's go.
It's just great that Darby was right on our race leader at Conklin there whenever that came out. But Conklin, man, he's going to hate us after this race. The defending Martinsville winner, he won the fall race last season.
Yeah, Sean may hate us, but he's going to love us because it's a great nickname.
Here's the deal. I love Sean, and he's fast as hell, and he's fun to watch. And we're about to see some great racing between Sean and Garrett Maines this time by coming to the start-finish line to take lap number 75. Sean Conklin back through the gears and back to the lead, and Alex Murray, your race pick. Look at him. He's on the inside. Oh, he's not your race pick, actually. Sorry, he's just your buddy.
Oh, and there is already a caution, and he is my race pick, actually.
Oh, he is. Oh, he was your race pick. My goodness. I forget who your picks
dumb,
man.
Austin?
I might be, just a little bit. But I'm not spun backwards at Martinsville like the 32 is Miller, unfortunately.
I was going to say,
I might be dumb,
but
he's got some damage. Yeah, I am from Alabama, buddy. We just don't have the best genes down here.
I did not understand.
I'm not a big fan of boot cut.
I did not understand a word you just said.
That's okay. You weren't supposed to. But 32 honestly just gets wiped out. Was that the 95? Dalton Collins, with no regard for the safety of other drivers out here on the racetrack, just completely ignored the 32. Maybe, I mean, it honestly looks like the 32 is not even on his screen. So maybe for his sake, I'll believe that he wasn't on his screen because that was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, they were 3 wide. Oh, not quite 3 wide. He just no regard for human life. In the
That's what I'm saying. Please show us that from Collins' in-car camera. I just feel like that had to have been intentional, just how nonchalant it was. Because the good guys in iRacing know how to wreck people without making it obvious that you were intentionally wrecking somebody. That looks like an intentional wreck that you were trying to make not look intentional. Obviously,
I don't think.
I've got nothing against Collins either. It's just that's what that looked like for me.
I was gonna say I don't think that was intentional.
This is what I want to see right here. Whoa,
oh,
man, well, not really that. There we go. I think he definitely misjudged it from that. From the other view, it looked kind of weird, but there he just definitely looked like he didn't know where his right front fender is. But again, that's where I say, whenever you see somebody not know where their right front fender is, but you know they're very, very good and very quick and have been on here a long time, so they obviously know where their right front fender is. That's why I get a little conflicted whenever I see stuff like that. I'm like, that might have been intentional, and they're just trying not to get banned. But people do make mistakes.
You a little thirsty there, Austin?
I might have been just a little bit.
This is why I have push to talk. That way, if I need a drink of water, I could just mute my mic.
That would be smart, especially because my brother left the
Well,
house
you
earlier
know,
and yelled something at me, and I yelled back, and I don't think it actually came over, but Discord lit up like it did, so I was a little nervous.
yeah, like I said, I just mute my mic that way y'all don't have to hear me drinking. But then again, that is smart, and you are from Alabama, so I mean,
Hey,
connect the dots there.
hey, my test scores were really good. All right, I won the
let me guess.
award
Let me guess. You got a 70.
Nah. I won the award for top student athlete in my school. So, and we had a graduating class of 350. So it was actually a decent honor.
I had a graduating class of 102.
Wow, you're small.
Yeah, there's
From
like
the
4,000, like 3,000 people in the town I grew up in.
I'm from Hickville and I had 350 in Alabama. How did you have? Whatever. Either way, Sean Conklin, the child, is coming up to take the restart. Here gets Alex Murray coming out of turn number 4 on lap number 80. Had a couple cautions here recently. Darby, our producer, just said he had 24 kids in his school. I wish I was surrounded by that many Conklins. Like Conklin is going down to turn number 3.
Conklin is
the lead by himself. Side by side behind him in his mirror, Maines, Murray, the race pick of Nick Stein, falling back to 3rd place, but not a bad place to be if we get another caution.
I can't believe that nickname is catching on. Sean is never gonna live this down.
It's just because it's me that you said it to, and I don't let things die.
Not really a big wreck, but I had to drum up some drama somehow.
One of the 12s has a front bumper missing a little bit further back.
It's Joshua Watson again, around.
That's Collins on the inside getting loose in the 95. Does he make it back-to-back with the right front fender? He does! That one not his fault. Joshua Watson turned in as if he wasn't there. I will not even try to put blame on Dalton Collins for that one. It's pretty straightforward, I'd say.
Yeah, cut and dried.
Maybe you could say for Watson, he thought he was going to clear Roman because of the speed difference, but...
That's not Roman.
He didn't. Oh, sorry, not Roman. Yeah, you're right. Dalton Collins. I see the 95, and I think it's Roman, but is Roman...
Roman is purple, Collins is yellow.
I know, but I see the 95, and it's just, it's like, it's
Look at the colors!
No,
that's all you
it's
gotta do!
That
color
was Roman's
recognition!
color last year. That was Roman's color last year.
Color recognition is not hard.
That's why he was in yellow last year, so that is me
I know he
color
was in
recognizing.
yellow, but I can still tell the difference between Collins yellow and Roman's yellow.
Happens. It just happens. It just happens. I'm not used to
love
Roman running that black
so
and
that's
purple.
why I love making fun of you. That's why I'm doing
I mean,
this.
it makes sense. This is basically our broadcast the entire time. We just bicker at each other like an old married couple, and then whenever they do race, sometimes we call it, and sometimes we just joke around. So,
yeah. It's caution number 7, I believe.
I believe you're correct.
I lost count, so yeah. The mind tends to do that when...
I'll look right now.
Because, you know, I mean, what's that saying? It's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result each time.
Yep. First caution was lap number 12. Second caution was lap number 17. And then third was 25.
And then number 4 was 35
32.
when... 32 when Ed went upside down. Number 5 would have been 73.
Because we did have that big green flag run.
Ha! I was right. It is number 7.
Are you sure about that?
I am sure about that. Because I can count better than you can.
I think this is 8.
You're wrong.
I'm actually not.
You are.
Working caution number 8 here on the racetrack. Sean Conklin.
I despise you. I despise you for that.
What's funny is I'm actually right.
I will not give you the satisfaction of knowing that you're right.
Lap 12, 1. Lap 18, 2. Lap 25, 3. 32, 4. And then we had a long green flag run all the way until 62, 5. And then it came down 70 was 7. And then the last one was 8 on lap at number 83. And now Sean Conklin, coming to the
Coming
green
off
flag.
of
Sorry, I
Austin
had to
number
prove it. I had to prove it. No, that was 8.
7.
Conklin easily jumps back to the gas, takes the lead from Garrett Maines. Look at that. They fixed it in the chat. I love it. Garrett Maines, though, kind of losing out that spot. Alex Murray. Murray on the inside, making it work. Trying to take it back after Maines took it under the last restart. Conklin, though, that's what he wants to see. He wants to see him fighting side by side in his mirror. Get that big, big gap. Maybe just save the tires a little bit whenever you do get that gap and make Garrett Maines or Alex Murray, whoever ends up taking that second place spot, fight tooth and nail to use his tires to get up to the back bumper of the 54. And then maybe, just maybe, Conklin would not give up the spot.
Yeah, Garrett Maines just did the up and under on the 22 of Murray, and Murray's going to do the exact same thing to him back off of turn number 4. These two constantly at each other's throats. This is actually fun to watch here as Maines gets a little bit loose there into the corner, allows Alex Murray to get to the inside, and side by side once again for the third time this run here as another caution on the racetrack.
Caution number 9. We are averaging 1 per 10 laps currently on the Speedway. Still better than what we have been used to all week long, so I will take it.
Yeah, there's Andrew Dyson around there.
See, this is the thing. I feel like that race last year in the fall, we had 250 laps, and we had this many cautions by lap 60. so I'm pretty okay with this. 41 trying to avoid Dalton Collins up on the top, and 18 was there on the bottom.
Looks like there may have been another car around ahead of Dalton Collins, which is why he slowed up.
It did look like a checkup from Collins. So I imagine there's something out of his windshield that he was seeing that he didn't like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw some smoke as well, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was another car around ahead of him. Oh, there was. Maybe. Yep, there was. Ah, I was right.
Collins is up saving that thing. Everybody in front of him saves it as well, but it did kind of cause the stack up behind.
You know, if this was a peak top split, we would have all these cautions in the first half, and then the entire second half would go completely green. Because
we are due for a 105 lap green flag run. I wholeheartedly believe.
not with this many cars still on track. We still have 34
Come on,
cars.
why do you not have faith in the toppest of top splits?
We have 34 cars still on track. Do you really believe?
This is the toppest of top.
Actually, I lied. We still have 35 cars on. No, I lied again. Still 36. All 36 cars that started this race are still on track. How does that make you feel? I'm just lying straight to your face.
Look, man, I'm just saying. I don't care how many cars are on the racetrack. I have faith. I have faith in these guys. This is the best of the best that registered for this race. This is definitely not the best of the best, but this is the best of the best of the ones that registered for this race. So there's a couple up here towards the top that definitely are the best of the best.
Faith
and I
is
still have
often-
faith in the guys that
blind.
aren't at the back.
Faith is often blind.
Well, you may say that, and I know we've never met each other, but I promise you I can see.
What? That's
Just
gotta
like I
be
can
one
see
of the
Sean
most-
Conklin leading up the front row going down to turn number 3 for the restart on lap number 95.
That's got to be the single most random thing you have ever said in a booth with me.
Because you said
before.
faith is blind, and I said I can see. Bam! Sean Conklin coming out turn number 4, taking lap number 96. A little later in the Geico restart zone this time, give himself a better jump over Garrett Maines into turn 1.
Let's go Alex Murray and Garrett Maines to continue their dogfight. Just kidding, as we have another caution on the racetrack.
I just want to point out dogfights are between airplanes. These are race cars. You're welcome.
For the love of all that's holy, Austin, shut up.
Look, buddy, we're working caution number 10 here at Martinsville, and we both.
Yes,
we,
but
we
you're
both,
being
we,
dumb
hey,
already, and we're not even halfway
Hey,
through.
hey, it's okay, it's okay. We were dumb by lap 20 on the last one.
You're right. You're right.
Looking
Yeah,
at Joshua Watson once again on the restart on the back bumper on the 13. Oh. Well. Tanner Love to the outside into the Lodado. I don't know if, I guess Tanner Love was trying to get on the brakes, and obviously Watson was all over the back bumper. And I guess touching the brake pedal whenever you're getting bump drafted probably is not the best. So unfortunately for the 13th, he does go around into the 23. And is he searching for somebody, or is he just getting his spot back?
Probably just getting his spot back here, but...
Oh, man, he could have been hunting him down. Our producer just changed. I hope he's not killing somebody right now. Oh, boy.
It's funny, I was messaging with the 23 car of Lucas Lodado, and he had just messaged me, hey, I got all my optional repairs fixed with a ton of exclamation points, and I just messaged him back about that.
Oh, no. Poor Lodado, and he had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and he just sent me a bunch of middle fingers, so yeah.
Well, Lodado's letting his feelings known out here on the broadcast through our good buddy Nick Stein. Love it. These guys keep fooling me, though, under these cautions. Like, I really think every time that we're getting ready to go green, because they start doubling up in the first 3 or 4 rows, and then the pace car lights are still on, I get a little confused. Like, they're doing it 3 laps early, man. They're really trying to trick me.
They know that you're dumb, so they love tricking you because it's funny to watch you be dumb.
Hey, roll tide. Wow, I just got fantastic information from my producer about the way that our score ticker works on the left. I did not know that it flashed yellow whenever we were 1 to green.
I didn't know that either. I won't lie.
Yeah, which is new to us this year, but I was never, I did not get CC'd on that memo.
Yeah, just because you're not that important, Austin.
I mean, that does make sense. I am from Alabama. Can you name one person important from Alabama that's not a football player?
Nick Saban.
Okay, well, he's not from Alabama, though. That was very clever, though. That was very clever. Football coach. Interesting. But he was not from Alabama. I think he's in Michigan, so... Nope. See, that proves my point. We're just not important down here. We got Mississippi beat by a little bit, but that's about it.
Oof.
Who doesn't? Sean Conklin looking to end caution number 10. Coming to lap number 102. Barney the Flagman ready to get the second half of this race kicked off.
Garrett Maines gets a good restart there and gets down in front of the 22 of Murray to avoid them bickering at each other for the next 10 laps. But now Murray and I believe that's Roman fighting now. Tooth and nail for this 3rd spot.
Oh no, Spinner in behind.
Oh
Coming
no,
up
that's
number
Miller
4.
Bonds.
Miller Bonds is going around in the middle of the field. Did everybody miss him?
How?
I've never in my life seen somebody go 360 off of turn 4 and not get touched.
Have you ever?
No, I never. Did he get contact from Garcia? No, he just lost it. And obviously he gets some from the 73 after they all pile in. And yeah, Hodgson couldn't get slowed down in time.
Wow.
But ultimately, great job from everybody through the field to make that as small as it was. And
that was impressive.
wow. Yeah. And to celebrate,
I know that sounds like shallow for us, but I mean that is genuinely
that's
impressive.
hard. That's difficult. And to celebrate their tremendous achievement of dodging that wreck, we're going to send it to our second commercial break of the evening. Be sure to stick with us. We're going to have some amazing racing action to you coming on the other side.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate...
Welcome back to Ryco Performance. Friday night, NiS, top split action from the Martinsville Speedway. I'm Austin Edstrom. Typically, I've got my good buddy Nick Stein beside me. Unfortunately, he is he's fighting with the floodgates currently. So hopefully he will be back soon. And hopefully he will not be burning too bad, but up towards the front of the field. Sean Conklin is leading away over Garrett Maines. Not too much of a change up in the top 5 over the course of the evening. Sean Conklin, Garrett Maines, Alex Murray, Nicholas Roman, and Richard Garcia have mostly taken up those top 5 positions, I'd say, for the majority of the night. Sean Conklin leading the way here, coming out of turn number 4. Let's take yet another restart. 108 laps complete. Oh, they're wrecking into turn number 1. Jose Acosta's turned somebody down into turn number 1, hard into the outside fence. Goes 2, 3 cars. Somehow the caution's not out, even though he's turned sideways, backwards, stopped. 2 cars stopped on the outside of the racetrack. Another one stopped, and the caution's still not out. Finally, as the leaders come out of turn number 4, the caution flag has flown. I can't say I've ever seen the starter hold the flag that long. I'm very, very shocked that yellow did not come out earlier. We had 4 cars stopped on the racetrack, not on the apron, on the racetrack, and the good old yeller wasn't coming out. It was kind of strange. Gonna Acosta bump drafting? Oh, he well, was bumping the 33 and 95. I'd say put off the 19. He didn't do anything wrong, but just him putting himself down there, put off the 19, and the 19 was reacting more to the 95. Ended up hitting the 33 in the back, sending him around, and then you could tell through the center of turn 1, the 33 turned right to make sure Acosta was also involved in that one. Pretty straightforward. Going down to turn number 1. Initial incident, I'd probably put on Acosta, and then the 33 turned hard right. But we will get one more look at it just to make sure I'm right. I'd hate to be harping on anybody and be incorrect, but we are going to look one more time just to kind of see, pay attention to the 95, see what he does to Acosta here. Acosta has to check up a little bit on the restart. The 95 doesn't. And yeah, the 19 just dives down to the inside to block the 95, makes contact with him, and it puts him off, makes him go into the back of the 33. I'd put that solely on Acosta, but the 33 did turn hard right through the center of the corner. So ultimately, the end result of that wreck definitely could have been avoided. Under this next restart, we are going to give you folks at home a little so we're going to spice up the restart a little bit, I should say. We're going to jump into a rev it up Ryco and give you guys something to listen to other than mine and Nick's voice. It can get a little tiring listening to us all night. So we're going to give you a few laps here on the restart to just listen to the sights and sounds of Martinsville Speedway. But we do have a couple laps of caution still on offer for you tonight before we jump into that rev it up Ryco segment. But we are going to look at our weather right now. Just kind of take a look at what's been happening on the racetrack as this race has gone on. Sitting at 4:30 p.m. Eastern currently out on the racetrack. 16-mile-an-hour winds, relatively heavy, honestly. Definitely could cause some issues with wind gusts, probably approaching 25-30 miles an hour. But down a little bit further, ambient temperature 67, track temp 77. So honestly, not a very hot track out here for these guys tonight. Not really working with the worst conditions. Pretty nice conditions out there. Decent bit of grip, and I know we've had a good bit of cautions, but it is significantly less than other races, so think that we are seeing the grip matter. But we are going to jump into our Rev It Up Ryco segment on this restart. We got two of them up on the front row. Sean Conklin, Garrett Maines. Unfortunately, we are under the yellow flag once again. Kyle Trudell has brought out the yellow flag. Rev It Up the Ryco segment. Unfortunately, maybe we'll have one more of those pop up towards the end of the race since that one was abbreviated. But gonna have an idea what happened here. Coming out of turn number 4, just way up the racetrack. I mean, goodness gracious, and that's way too high. Too much wheel, too much throttle coming out of the corner, way on the outside of the racetrack. You're gonna get loose every time, and at these slow speeds in the next gen car, if you get loose and you got to overcorrect it to the right, or if you got to correct it to the right, it's going to be an overcorrection. Man, I've got to throw out a quick prayer to my buddy Nick Stein, who's fighting the toilet demons currently. Very, very sad. He's he's gonna hate that I said that, but you know, it is what it is. Conklin is absolutely abusing the underbody onto that curb through every single corner under caution, and it makes a very audible noise. I don't know if it's actually, I don't know how well the sim is programmed for floor damage, but I'd be a little worried if it is. I mean, you can just hear it so heavily every time that he actually does it. He didn't do it through 3 and 4 that time, but he's just been straddling it. I really don't know if it does anything. It probably doesn't, but man, I'd just be a little bit worried hearing that noise. Anytime you hear a noise, it's typically not good. Yep, y'all can obviously hear his floor hitting the apron there, or the rumble strip. But probably no harm, no foul at the end of the day. Yeah, it's a simulator, but it's a video game. Come on, folks. And I say that, but if I end up learning after the stream that does do damage, I'm going to have to eat a little bit of humble pie on that one. Oh, man, goodness gracious. They're loving it. I'm sure it does not do any damage if Garrett Maines is getting down there, and he would know more than anybody, so. Do kind of start running out of stuff to talk about under the caution flags whenever your broadcast partner's away, though. I gotta be honest, it's tough. And I'm sure Maines did that because he was listening, but again, I think that shows that it doesn't do anything. He wouldn't have done that if it was going to damage his floor. I think Maines cares about the checkered flag a little bit too much to potentially throw that away. So I'm sure it does absolutely nothing, and I'm just blowing smoke up here in the broadcast booth. Time to restart the race after caution number 13. Sean Conklin on the inside. Obviously, he's getting past Garrett Maines before the start finish line. Murray, a little bit nervy getting into turn number 1. Not nervy, but just kind of backs it up. Not really fighting Garrett Maines. It looks like he's very content with just running in the 3rd place position currently. Perhaps just not abusing that tire quite yet, and knowing that he needs that 3rd place spot later in the race. Maybe you save him here in the early going, never pit again, and eventually you could potentially pass Maines or Conklin up here who are running hard for that 1st place spot, where he can hold on to the 3rd, save the tires. And later in the event, he could he'd be the guy to beat. A little bit further back, issues coming out of turn number 4. Not necessarily issues, they're just nervy moments from Lewis Ettinger. Just way off the bottom side of the racetrack. He's on the inside of, I believe it was Tommy Gossett. A little bit further up the racetrack, but a little bit further back now. Joshua Watson to the inside. The 35, I believe that was Sean Signor. And yes, it is. He is taking that position away from Sean. Down into turn number 1. Watson has been involved, I feel like, in half the accidents tonight, which I know is false because there have been 13 and he would be DQ'd out of the race at that point. But he has been involved in quite a couple, the driver of the 01. But he's found himself back up towards the front of the field, up into the 11th place position. Great job from Watson being able to recover at this point, but still, 75 laps to go. You never know what could happen here at Martinsville with Wallot getting stuff to the outside by the 32, moving back a spot. Meanwhile, a little bit further back, that's Payson in the 31, getting past the 71. I believe it's Payson in the 31, I might be wrong. Yep, John Payson. Wallet still on the outside this time of Dalton Collins. Coming out of turn number 2, Collins just edges him out to the wall, takes that spot. And Wallet just moving back again, the 18 getting by him. Jose Acosta following through as well. Wallet's kind of struggling here on the outside of the racetrack. Maybe he can find a hole here. Probably not quite. Jose Acosta is going to dive it down to the bottom of turn 1. Keep that nose in there. Give himself an opportunity. A little nervy through the middle of the corner, but no harm, no foul. Both of them get off and come down into turn number 3. And Sean Conklin still up in the race lead. Garrett Maines trying to hunt him down a little, 4/10 of a second back? Yeah, 4 or 5/10 of a second, just separating these guys. Alex Murray really dropping back, and Roman dropping back as well. I feel like these guys in 3rd and 4th are kind of saving their tires a little bit. I think they're playing the long game. If they get that long green flag run and then a caution comes out and bunches the field back up, they'll be in the driver's seat. And you never know also with Sean Conklin, Garrett Maines running hard, trying to get this lead. Perhaps if a caution comes out at the right time, both these guys pit. And maybe some people back behind them do not. We did see just about everybody come down pit road on lap, 75? But that was after a very long green flag run. I think it's going to take another one of those to bring everybody back down pit road. "67 laps since they have pitted. Which would have been like laps, somewhere around the same, like 68, I think. Either way, my quick maths are failing me right now. Martinsville has lulled me out of the math equations. I don't know. Sean Conklin up towards the front. I've lost my math ability. Martinsville has screwed my brain. Sean Conklin, though, Martinsville has not screwed his brain yet. Still up towards the front of the field, up in the lead. Garrett Maines right behind, 4/10 of a second back. Not really gaining anything. Actually losing just a little bit of ground on Sean Conklin over the course of the last couple laps. About a 10th over the last 5 or so laps. Really not much between the 54 and 1 at this point. I'm surprised with Sean, I gotta say. Under that first run, he did get passed by Garrett Maines relatively quickly. Maines pulled out a very large gap before he got lap traffic, and then we got that caution that brought everybody back together. Conklin took the race lead off of a fortunate situation where he came off pit road in 2nd, but he restarted 3rd as somebody stayed on old tires that really hurt Garrett Maines on that restart, allowed Conklin to take the lead, and he hasn't looked back since then. And I'm kind of surprised to see him pulling away from Garrett Maines at this point, given the fact that Maines actually passed him earlier in the event and pulled away by a lot. It's not like it was even too close here in the first 50 laps. Perhaps Conklin was just saving his stuff early and not really willing to push it in the early going, knowing that this is a very long race and he's going to have plenty of cautions. And you got to have that those fenders on your car at the end to have a shot. Yeah. We are back to just about the 10 lap average on the cautions, with this little bit of a green flag run here as the leaders are starting to catch lap traffic. Sean Conklin putting the first man a lap down here. Next one on board is going to be Ronnie Curitz. Andrew Dyson just went a lap down to now Garrett Maines in the 2nd place position. We didn't really get the opportunity last time that our leaders ran down the lap cars to actually see them go through the lap traffic. Caution, unfortunately, came out after Mains had passed, I believe, 2 of them. And this time by, Conklin has an 0.8 of a second gap, and he's really reeling in a couple of these cars behind, or in front of him. A couple of these lap cars. The only difference is I feel like Mains earlier was in a worse position whenever he was in the lead, as it was very bunched up with the lap cars in front of him. Here, there's a pretty decent gap in between each one for the first 4 or 5. Enough of a gap that Conklin can easily pass them in one corner and clear himself up to the wall. So I think that this is a relatively beneficial position. He does get held behind the 30 here through 3 and 4 just a little bit. 30 running the bottom lane. Curit's not willing to give up the lead lap. Conklin showing the nose down to turn 1. Curit's not fighting it, and Conklin gonna take the position. Did lose a little bit of ground through 3 and 4 there on Garrett Mains, but ultimately not too bad from the driver of the 54. And again, catching one more lap car. And again, there's no challenge. Easily able to clear up. He's got a Ryco teammate in front of him, so the next one should be pretty easy as well for Sean Conklin. I'm surprised at how good Conklin looks right now. Again, from the first 50 laps of this race, I thought this was going to be the Garrett Mains show, but Conklin's looking sporty right now. Still 55 laps to go, so I would be worried that perhaps if this thing does run green somehow, that Garrett Mains could make something up on the long run. Perhaps he's just saving his stuff. Maybe he listened to me say maybe if we got that long green flag run, we'd be seeing people pit, and he just thought to save his tire so he didn't give up the track position, because I'm telling you, track position at Martinsville is everything. And I have got the good word from my buddy Nick Stein that he is on the way back. He has survived. Thank goodness. Conklin putting another one a lap down, and this is finally where we were getting into the same issue as what we saw before with Garrett Mains. He just had a very tight group in front of him. Here, a teammate of Sean Conklin actually pulls down Miller Bonds. Ryco Performance pulled down in front of Conklin, trying to stay on the lead lap. Conklin, though, not willing to sit behind. He's fashioning these guys, and he's got to keep that lead over Garrett Mains up. Dives down to the bottom into turn number 1, but the 37 slides down to the inside as well, kind of blocking off Conklin's run. We're going to jump into one more Rev It Up with Ryco segment here as Sean Conklin jumps through our lap cars. We didn't get the opportunity to run all the way through it last time, so we're going to try right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that's what Sean Conklin wanted. It's definitely not what Sean Conklin needed. But unfortunately, off of his front bumper, a lap car got sent down into turn number 1, and the caution flag has flown.
Oh, and
lap
Adam
149.
Thompson is not happy. He just tried to hunt down Sean and just spun himself on the curb there.
Are you serious?
Yep.
We're gonna have to check out what, we're gonna get on board with Thompson to see exactly what happened. We're gonna obviously go back to the wreck as well to see. A couple leaders have pitted. A couple guys I believe are probably staying out, but Adam Thompson trying to come through to get revenge on the race leader. Wrecks himself on the curb.
Oh, and Dyson just put him in the wall.
What in the world is going on tonight? Dyson's just not even letting him have the opportunity, I guess.
What a man, Andrew Dyson. What a man.
Oh my goodness, and we've just seen the most gamesmanship I've ever seen coming off of pit road between the two Ryco guys that have been 1-2 the entire night. They both stopped on the exit of pit road. Neither one of them wanted the position. I imagine because of people staying out, they both want to start on the inside. They stopped.
I'm just keeping my eye on the 71. I don't know what's going to happen here.
Conklin, Thompson. I mean, that's Thompson's fault, man.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's the leader coming on you. You don't turn across the leader's nose. He's showing it. I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah, and then this whole.
Don't get me wrong. Conklin dives him, but like.
To be fair, Conklin's the leader, and he's trying to build his lead over his main rival in this race, Garrett Maines.
Yeah, I mean, he shows his nose from halfway down the straightaway, and it's obvious he's driving down to the bottom, and he's the race leader. Let me be honest with you. I don't care what anybody says. If you're the race leader and you show your nose like that, you're entitled to dive. If you have caught somebody from that far back, you are entitled to dive him by half a tenth of a second. You are absolutely allowed. Conklin does it down into turn 1. Thompson kind of turns across his nose. It's tapped in the left rear and gets sent around. Race the race leader with a little bit more respect. I want to put that out there to
right
everybody.
Here, though. This right here is a top-notch move from Dyson, though.
I agree. Look, dude, I just can't stand. I know, and it wasn't egregious, right? I don't think any of that was egregious by Thompson. I don't think he was meaning for that to happen. But I want to be straight up to everybody right now. If you're a lap car, stop. Yeah, your race is important. It's not as important as the leader. It's not. I'm tired of people saying that it is just as important. No, your race for 25th ain't, buddy. Your race for 25th ain't. You ain't got to let the guy by, but give room. Give him the lane. Be predictable.
Yeah, that was egregious, to say the least.
I mean, I wouldn't even say that. It wasn't like, I don't think it was that bad. It's not like he just destroyed him, but I don't know. I like lap cars giving the benefit of the doubt to the leader. Nicholas Roman, though, the new race leader, as a bunch of guys have stayed out. Conklin back into 6th place position. Garrett Maines is the one that won that weird restart battle. Oh, Conklin goes around, and I think he's got a black flag as well. He got an unsafe pit entry.
Huge wreck there. Chris Bohite has a black flag, John Broussard has a black flag, Andrew Dyson and Adam Thompson both have black flags. Conklin did not get a black flag.
I'm surprised. I thought that his right front went down pit road, so I was very, very worried for Conklin. Still, I'm worried for him because I'm sure he got damaged. And we're gonna look at the restart. He definitely started with Sean Conklin this time. I'm gonna be a little bit less friendly with Conklin this time. Hits the 24 down into the corner. 24 slides up, and the 54 really didn't give him much room. The last one I gave a lot of benefit of the doubt to Conklin because he's the race leader, and I feel like you should be entitled to a whole lot more space, especially on iRacing because we're not professionals and we're not racing for money. So if you're allowed to get out of the way, but this one, Conklin ran over somebody. I gotta be honest, he really did just run over somebody.
Yeah, he did, and it caused one of the bigger wrecks we've seen tonight. Just ran over that 24 into the corner, and another one of those. It turned from 1 to 15 in the span of a second there. I mean, look at that.
And this is one of those things where I've got to, Sean Conklin's been out in the race lead for the last 50 or so laps, 60, 70 laps. I think that you get used to having clean air. You get used to not having to fight on these restarts and not having to check up. And then you get thrown into the middle of it. And not only that, but the guys in front of you are on old tires. It does take a lot of patience. And you know what? I hate to bring this back up because we were saying how it's very impressive that he is as quick as he is. But as Nick said, the child earlier didn't show the patience that time. But that does come. That does come with experience. And Sean Conklin, I'm telling you, with that speed, that's gonna come. So Conklin just a little overzealous on the restart with the older tires in front of him. That's something he'll learn. He'll get better at. So we'll see what happens with the 54 going forward. I knew he fell back to 20th at one point. Under the caution, it looks like they've given him a couple more spots up to the 18th spot, so we'll have to pay attention to that 54 coming through the field.
I'm showing him in 19th position, actually.
Yeah, I'm just saying they go back and forth between.
Oh, he is in 18th now. And yeah, that 54 has got a pretty good lick of damage there on that left front, or excuse me, right front.
But now here I got to point out for the restart, because there are different tire strategies. Top 4, old tires. So they're going to be a little bit slower than Garrett Maines there in 5th. To be fair, they were already a little bit slower than Garrett Maines in 5th if they all had even tires. So now with Garrett Maines having a little bit of a tire advantage over the top 4, he should be quicker by a good chunk only problem is this is Martinsville, right? We would have a caution on the first lap of every single restart until the end of this race, and Garrett Maines will not finish any better than 4th. So, I don't know. What are we going to get here for the last 40 laps on this restart? Your guess is as good as mine. Can Garrett Maines get it done? Will he have the green flag laps given to him so that he can have an opportunity to get it done? Or will Nicholas Roman catch the caution bug in the right time? Coming through 3 and 4, working lap number 160. Nicholas Roman coming up to the restart zone. Pointing the flag man, getting ready to wave the green flag. Roman stomps the gas coming out of turn 4. Takes the lead down into turn number 1 and really paying attention to Maines. 3rd row on the inside in that black and blue car. Already picking up position up the 4th. Looking to make it 3 wide already down the back.
Garrett Maines 3 wide into the corner. That's going to give a hip check to the 0-1 of Josh Watson. Richard Garcia is not going to be happy about that. Neither will Josh Watson. But Garrett Maines, though, going to get up into that 2nd spot, and a bit controversially there, he's going to be up in 2nd position now as things are starting to kick off a little bit further back. 3 wide further back in the field here. They all managed to keep it straight, but 3 wide in the corner once again. This 27 car just looks like he's just giving out positions like it's to charity. But back up front, Garrett Maines now working all over the back end of the 95 and Nicholas Roman.
Yeah, Garrett Maines going to get it done. Coming out of 2, able to get that undercut, then down into turn number 3, late on the brakes. Garrett Maines back up to the race lead here at Martinsville Speedway, and his main competitor is stuck back in traffic with a little bit of damage. Sean Conklin back in 14th.
Oh, car sideways, 10 cars around in turn number 2.
Well, move Conklin up to 12th because there were 2 guys in front of him that just went around, perhaps giving him an opportunity. Working lap number 164, the yellow flag back out on the Speedway. Looking at 10. Yep, gets in the turn 1, just loosed it.
Yep.
Lost it. That is the word. He lost it. He loosed it. He loosed it. I'm loosed in my mind. But we're going to use this opportunity to head to another commercial break. Be sure to stick with us. We're going to have all the action to the finish whenever we come back.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Ryco Performance! Friday night NiS top split on GridVision from the Martinsville Speedway. Garrett Maines up in the lead, coming to take the green flag with 31 laps to go. The iRacing pace car pulling off the racetrack. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Garrett Maines? Can somebody else on the four freshies get up to challenge him? Can Sean Conklin get up there from about the 13th place position? He's going to need a couple more cautions. Garrett Maines wants it to run green. Coming to the green flag this time. Garrett Maines stomps it to the gas, easily gets the lead, and further back, Sean Conklin makes it 3 wide down into turn 1.
We've seen how that went before, but he makes it through this time, no problems, as he's now on the rear end of the 24 of Ed Sheeran Jr. down into turn number 3. No move's going to be made here. No. Wow.
Ed's in the top 10! He flipped! He was stuck upside down on top of another car earlier in the event. Ed Sheeran Jr. has found himself in the top 10!
Collins just got sent into the corner. Another caution on the racetrack.
That's big for Conklin. He's able to pick up a couple of positions. We'll get another restart to perhaps pick up a couple more. But yeah, like you mentioned, Collins just getting sent down to the corner. Oh, and he's not happy. Oh no! Oh, that's the biggest karma I've ever seen immediately. I mean, it's weird because he got wrecked, so I kind of feel bad. I'm sure the 30 just dumped him down into turn number 1. But it's funny seeing him doorback somebody and wreck it like that. I said 30.
You can't just make that up.
This is Tommy Gossett in the 80. Oh yeah.
He just sent him into the corner. That is warranted aggression.
So one sec, I do want to watch it back one more time because that was so heavy. I need to see if Collins broke early because it was so heavy. I agree with you. Like that was a very, very, very heavy hit from Gossett. I want to know if Gossett missed his breaking point or if Roman hit his too early. Not Roman. God, I did it again. Dalton Collins. But that's pretty funny. That's funny.
That is really funny.
You're gonna see Collins.
Rule number 1 of intentionally wrecking somebody.
I think Collins broke early. I really did. I need another outside view, to be honest with you. But yeah, Collins, this is funny up here. We need to stay on the onboard for this.
Rule number 1 of intentionally wrecking someone: do it without wrecking yourself.
Look, and I've been preaching it all week. You cannot turn right in the next gen cars at these low speeds and hit the gas. It just spins out. And that's what happened with Collins there. You cannot turn right in these things. You see it off the corners, they get loose and hit the gas and turn right. And it just automatically spins. And we saw that with Collins there going even slower. And I do want to point out, I'm looking at this one more time from the outside view. Typically, the driver on the inside brakes a little bit later. No, I say that. Never mind. I'll take that back. But looking at side by side, Wallet was on the outside of Collins. Collins brakes, and Wallet gets about a half a car length on Collins before Gossett hits him. So maybe Collins broke half a car length early. But at half a car length, if you're in Gossett's shoes, you have to be on your toes a little bit more than that. I got to be honest. I got to give Collins a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Half a car length early isn't enough to get run over like that. So I would definitely say Gossett just kind of misses breakings in a little bit, or should have been a little bit more reactive to the brake. But the aftermath was still funny. I've got to be honest, that was still hilarious.
Yeah, that is peak comedy at Martinsville.
We get that every time we come to Martinsville, man. It's just something weird is going to happen on the racetrack, and we've seen a lot weird on the racetrack tonight. So not too surprising. And I want you to know I was getting ready to announce the restart coming off of turn 4, even though I saw the pace car on my screen. Did they just keep fooling me with these double files? I don't know what's going on. But we are at 1 green this time, as the lights on the pace car are off, and we will have 23 laps to figure this thing out. Once it goes green, looking at Sean Conklin, he's going to be restarting at 11th. So I do think these cautions are hurting him, though, ultimately. He's only moving up 1 row. And then a couple of laps go off, and then a caution comes out, and then you sit under caution for 5 or 6 laps. And unfortunately, I think Conklin's just going to run out of time. Garrett Maines up the front. He's the one waiting for it. He's ready for that hourglass to run out of time for all of that salt to get to the bottom of it. Coming through the restart zone once again for Garrett Maines. Easily going to take the lead over Roman on the older tires on the outside and dive down into turn number 1. 25 laps to go.
Conklin sending it 3 wide once again on Ed Sheeran Jr. Shearer smartly backs out of it there and just lets him go. And Conklin to the inside of the 12. Oh, that's not going to work as he just sends Nolan Hodgson into the corner there. And knowing that 12 car, he is not going to be happy.
Oh boy. Well, I think it's safe to say that this race has started devolving. There's been a couple issues, but you come to the end of this thing at a short track, and I'll be honest, you expect it. People are gonna go crazy. Conklin to the inside of Hodges and send him around.
Yeah. And some things I'm not allowed to repeat were just conveyed over the radio.
Not
between Hodgson
surprised.
and Conklin, and Nolan Hodgson is not one to immediately wreck you. He's going to remember it for a while, so I would not be surprised to see things boil over at another race if Hodgson's ever in the same race as Conklin in the same type of area.
That I feel like that's I hate to dog on Conklin again, but I do think that's just a little late coming down in the corner. I mean, the 12 is very, very committed to the bottom. All the way down the back straightaway, and Conklin's, half a car length back. So I've got to say Conklin went a little bit too deep into that one, especially with them being 3 wide getting into the corner. There's nothing Hodgson could do, honestly. And I think Conklin's kind of realizing that over the radio. He's actually apologizing. So it's not like anything heavy or egregious, but I mean, 12 got the short end of the stick. He just dove it in there a little bit too late.
I thought it was going to be a slam dunk, slamming the over on our cautions at 24.5, but we're coming down to the wire here. I don't think we're going to get it. Yeah, I almost said slamming the over because I thought it was 250 laps, not 200.
We do need, 7 in the next 20? So we need 4. We need 4, and then every single green-white checker.
Well, would we consider green-white checkers as actual cautions?
Yes.
Okay.
If a yellow flag flies and it says caution, that's a caution.
And
I don't know what fancy racing school you go to down in Tejas, but over here in the Bam Bam state of Alabama, we don't like that.
What?
I don't know. The race has devolved. I've devolved. I might have literally devolved. I mean, like Pokemon, you go from Monferno to Infernape. I have gone from Monferno to Chimchar. I have regressed down to a baby over the course of this race. Goo goo gaga.
You have problems.
I do. I really do. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate you pointing that out.
I've known for a while.
At the end of these Martinsville races.
Yeah, I've known for a while, but I just had to point it out for the rest of the audience who is just sitting here wondering what kind of just insanity that they have gotten themselves into.
Dude, just think, if this is me with somebody, talking to somebody, imagine me by myself in my own mind.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Jesus.
Karen made through 3 and 4. Going to take 18 laps to go this time at the stripe. Stop it at the gas. Easily takes the lead from Broman. Richard Garcia trying to follow him through this time on the 95, looking a little bit further back. Outside of run number 4, almost another 3 wide move back in the back. Murray tried to make it happen for about 10.
Yeah, Murray tried to send Rob Peterson in. I think we have a car sideways further back. Yes, we do.
Is that Hodgson? It's Hodgson again.
Oh, my goodness.
It's Hodgson again, man.
Is that Dalton Collins as well? Oh, my God. This is a huge wreck. Well, I think we're very well on the way to having those 4 cautions and all those green white checkers.
That's the thing. We get to the end, man, and people just... It gets to the point where you get on the gas a little bit harder, a little bit earlier, use a little bit more room, even if you're side by side. You get on the brakes a little bit later, use a little bit more racetrack, even if you're side by side. And at the end of the day, it's just what happens. You can tell the 7 was trying to avoid the 37 who got put in the wall, or put himself in the wall, it looked like. But he came down too far off the racetrack and expecting the 37 to come off the wall. And unfortunately, Will Height came down, attacked the driver under him here, Hodgson, and Hodgson went around. I see what Will Height's going for. I don't really it's a racing incident because he's trying to avoid the 37 who looks like he might bounce off the wall, but ultimately he did come down the racetrack, just tagged the 12. And yeah, you're right, Collins involved, the 13, 23. Seen both those guys involved in a couple actions tonight. Just caution number 19 working it now. Still giving us a chance to hit the over, but still very, very, very unlikely at this point.
I've seen bigger comebacks before.
I have too. Ain't wrong.
28-3 is the first one.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not a Falcons fan.
I'm glad I'm not either.
That would be a miserable, miserable life.
Yeah.
I say that, I'm a freaking Minnesota Vikings fan, so I don't know why I'm
Hey,
saying
I
that.
say that
That's
I'm
even
not.
worse.
I say that I'm a Cowboys fan. They haven't seen success since before I wasn't even a thought the last time they won a Super Bowl.
They haven't been America's team since you were born.
Well before I was born.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean,
Vikings have
at
been
this
in 4
point,
Super Bowls and have never taken the lead.
True. I mean, at this point, I'm this close to just becoming a Houston Texans fan, if I'm being honest.
Oh no. Well, to be fair, they look like they have a bright future.
Yeah, for once, a Texas football team has a bright future. It's pretty nice.
Well, it's really twice because
Yes, that was
Texas
a dig
looks
at
good.
UT as well.
The UT looks good.
They don't. Shut up.
They do. And I actually, as an Alabama fan that went to Alabama, by the way, I picked Texas to beat Alabama this year, and it happened. I just want to point that out.
All I want to say is horns down. Horns down.
I agree, but it was so obvious going into that game.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. I think I'm going to become a Texans fan. Yes, I am
like it.
committing sacrilege live on air.
That's okay. The Cowboys suck. I would commit sacrilege too if Jerry Jones was my owner.
Yeah, Jerry Jones needs to sell the team. But real talk, that Stephon Diggs trade, that was out of left field.
Well, it was out of left field if you're not following CT ESPN. If you're following Antonio Brown's sports coverage page, you knew about it 3 weeks ago, which is insane. So I don't know what kind of superpower CTE gives you, but Antonio Brown might become Superman. Goodness gracious.
We have
Some of the stuff that comes out of my mouth is just stupid.
You need
man.
to
But Garrett
think
Maines,
before you talk.
No, that takes all the fun out of it. Garrett Maines coming out of turn, and number 4. It's not fun unless it's Russian roulette coming out of your mouth. No, Nicholas Roman looks like he gets a countdown that time. Hits him in the back bumper. Garrett Maines usually gets some spot. Roman trying to take P2. And he's gonna do it.
What did you just say?
I play Russian roulette with the words coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
If you are hesitant to pull the trigger, then it's no fun, because it's just anxiety. So pull the trigger, play Russian roulette with your words, and no filter.
Except when you need to have a filter.
Exactly. But I don't know when that wall is, unfortunately. But 10 laps to go this time by Garrett Maines, easily in the race lead. Conklin still trying to recover from a couple of his mishaps. Looks like he might be trying to make a free run once again. Collins is coming off the corner there. I feel bad for Conklin because the first one I don't put on him because I do really feel like lap cars should be smarter or given room.
Oh, 3-wide move here.
This time, Conklin trying to make 3 wide, but they're wrecking twice.
Man.
2 separate wrecks down the front straightaway, both towards the inside fence. You could see him spinning as soon as Conklin was making that move. Coming out of turn number 4. Couldn't quite tell who it was, but I saw 2 separate cars coming out of turn 4, about 200 feet apart, sideways.
See if we can get a look at this, but that, I believe, is going to put us over at the 20 mark for cautions.
We're looking at Payson on the inside of Ryco Performance teammate. Gossett just gets loose on the outside. Oh, and then Payson overcorrects, trying to save it. That's where we saw Gossett go around, and then Wilhite, that's a triple Ryco disaster down the front straightaway.
I think Wilhite just got, no, Jose Acosta's been disqualified, and so has Chris Wilhite for incident
That
points.
doesn't surprise me with Wilhite. I feel like he has been involved in so much tonight. Not a hate to Wilhite, it's just I've seen that man get hit so much. See, this is Gossett got loose, hip checked, and again, once you get loose and you have to correct it to the right, which Payson getting hip checked to the left and having to correct right while on throttle, for whatever reason in this next gen car, if you have to correct ever so slightly while you're on throttle at these low speeds, and I know I beat a dead horse with this, but I need people to understand because I've seen too many freaking accidents this week on this. It's gonna wreck, so stop turning right. The Hudson Hornet lied to you. Do not do it at Martinsville.
Yeah, you do not turn right to go left.
Not at Martinsville. Everywhere else, fine, whatever. You can find a spot, but there ain't no grass here. There ain't no dirt. They took it up. Can't even see it on the inside of the curbing. It's concrete.
Always has been.
It hasn't.
I know. I was quoting that meme.
I know you were quoting a meme, but if it's not accurate, why would you quote it? I love you, Nick.
I'm just gonna shut up and let you call the rest of this race.
Hey, weren't you just doing that similar thing to me just like 5 cautions ago.
Yeah, your point?
Exactly.
What's your
Hippo.
point here?
Hippo.
Ain't no way you just called me that.
You a hippo.
I need HR on the line. And it needs to be a different HR agent than Austin.
I don't work in HR.
You're the one who said you were HR.
When did I do that?
Said that a couple weeks ago when I said I needed HR. You said I am HR.
Oh, I kind of remember that, but dude, I say stuff and I don't remember it a week later because I've just
Yeah,
so much bullcrap comes out of my mouth. It's hard to remember.
That tracks.
Whenever so much just random garbage comes out of your mouth, it's very, very hard to keep track of it. I don't catalog everything I say. Now Austin Derbyshire does on GridVision because everything I say on the broadcast gets archived right here, so we can always go back and see all the stupid things I said in every broadcast, including all my stutters, like that entire last sentence.
You and stuttering, name a better duo.
You and stuttering.
Du, 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 du.
Got him. Which makes us the most dynamic stuttering duo on the iRacing service, and it's amazing. I had a little stutter in the middle of that. Ooh, producer said Martinsville and cautions. Smart, big brain.
Bristol and cautions.
Darby's got it. Darby's got it. Bristol's a little bit better, but this time, hopefully for the final time, coming to the restart zone under yellow, Garrett Maines. Still on the fresher tires over Roman, a couple other guys on the older tires behind him. Sean Conklin, first one on the same tires as Maines, back in 6. Maines, 3 laps to go at the line. Can he do it? Oh, little late dive bomb move from Alex Murray, just about down into turn number 1, trying to take about 10th place position, could not quite do it. Maines pulling away from everybody else. Conklin trying to get to the inside, not quite able to do it, having to fade back to the outside through 3 and 4, not able to make a move either as they're side by side, trying to make it 3 wide now out of 4.
Oh, more blocking here as Roman goes down. Oh, big wreck. Alex Murray's involved. Caution on the racetrack.
Oh, Murray hard into the outside fence.
Oh, and
that front bumper is destroyed.
Well.
I mean, how many times are we going to see Collins wrecked around in this thing? Oh, well, he gets. That just DQ'd him, didn't it?
Yep.
He touched Murray and it DQ'd both of them. Did it just DQ both of them?
Yep. Right, no, not Murray. Murray just has a meatball.
Oh, Murray towed. Okay, that would have been unbelievable. But Dalton Collins did get DQ'd
Dalton
on that
Collins is DQ'd. You gotta love Martinsville.
Man, you just never know what you're going to see. Well, you know most of what you're going to see at Martinsville, but you never know the intangibles.
You're surprised every time.
True. Oh, that's about as big of an impact as you can have at Martinsville. And Collins. I mean, he had to get run over, right? Like, how are you turning right into that corner? He had to have got hit from behind.
That DQs him. That is actually tragic.
That's hilarious.
Oh, man. Those aren't laughs of us making fun of Dalton Collins. It's pity laughs.
Yeah. I'm not at all making fun of Collins in this one. This is just, I felt like I might be making fun of him if he didn't get run over. Oh, I'm making fun of him. Yep, I'm making fun of him. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, but
absolutely zero hesitation.
That's awesome. I love it. I hate it for Collins, but it's just fun, man. You come to Martinsville and you know this is gonna happen to a couple people. This was me a couple weeks ago in a league race. I got DQ'd after supposedly causing 3 accidents. I'm gonna tell you right now, I did not. But I'm not race control. But this is just what happens. Sometimes you're the bat and sometimes you're the ball. Unfortunately, at Martinsville, more times than not, you're the ball.
Getting DQ'd like that is an absolute travesty. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. You gotta love Martinsville, but you also despise this place at the same time.
That's pretty accurate. I mean, I don't know if I could say it any better. Edward Schur, my pick, is somehow up to the 8th place position. I don't know how in the world my pick is the highest running.
This man was upside down.
Yeah, he was stuck upside down. Stuck with no front
bumper. This reminds me of those 4-cylinder banger races at your local short track. Somehow the dude the one dude who has managed to wreck everybody. Well, that's and not in Ed's case here, but you know, it just reminds you of that one 4-cylinder banger dude that just kind of wrecks throughout the entire race and somehow manages to win the main race. It's like how? That's like how are you still alive?
There was a 20-second period of this race where Edward Scherer Jr. did not have a single piece of his race car touching the tarmac. None of it was on the asphalt or the concrete for 20 seconds, and he's in the top 10, running 8th place. So great job from the 24.
You know what would be peak Martinsville right here?
Oh no, I'm afraid to hear it.
If literally everything just explodes in front of Ed Scherer Jr. You know, somebody tries to go through wide here.
James Busher in the 30 car.
Yep, you know exactly what I'm talking about, dude.
Well, we're going to see if James Busher back in row number 4 can make it happen, or if it's going to be Garrett Maines up here in the 12. Unless he self-spins it, I think it's going to be Garrett Maines. But going down to the turn 1, Maines easily with the race lead. Broman able to take second away from Joshua Watson. Conklin still trying to fight into the top 5 side by side with Garcia. He throws a late one to Garcia down to the bottom of turn 3, and now he drives into the back. That shoots Broman up the racetrack. Conklin's up to second. The caution flies.
Ed Scherer Jr.'s up to 5th because of that.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Big jump back through the pack. Oh man, look. I hate to say this, dude. I hate to say this because I love Sean Conklin. I really do think this guy's great. But man, he's got to get his patient pants back on. And I know that this is working for him because he's now wrecked his way up to second. That's not the way you want to do it. It's not the way you want to do it. Well, he did get bumped. He did get bumped by Garcia. I did not notice that first time by. It was, you know, a block down to the bottom of 3, but he had room. I don't know. Maybe I have to take a little bit of that back because he did get pushed. But there's I don't know. I know it's coming to the end of the thing, so it's a hard ask. And I'm kind of picking on people for certain things, but ultimately it's just Martinsville, man. This track brings out the worst in everybody. So if you've heard me say something bad about you tonight, please do not take it personal, because this racetrack just sucks on the service, and nobody knows what to do.
Truer words have never been spoken about this place.
It's not really the service's fault either. It's just you're on a video game with 36 cars bunched on this little spot. You really do not. You can't feel the race car. You know, people talk about the feel of a car in real life, and you don't have that seat of your pants feel. I'm telling you, at these short tracks, I think it means so much more, especially whenever you are in such tight quarters. You got to think, a lot of people have a single monitor. You can't see a lot at these short tracks with everybody around you. So there's a lot of things that work against a lot of guys here at a very, very tight racetrack like this on a simulator.
Yeah, you want to know something that just is the absolute epitome of Martinsville? You have 2 cars in the top 5 that started within the last 3 positions of this race. Sean Signora started 36th tonight. He's up in 4th position. Brandon Massachuski started 33rd tonight. He's up in 5th.
Unreal. And Edward Scherer Jr. was upside down and had to go back to 36 and is up into 6.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man.
The only people in the top 10 that started into the top 10 are Garrett Maines, Sean Conklin, Nicholas Vroman, and Richard Garcia. Everyone else originated from outside the top 10. Of course, Garrett Maines started 3rd, Sean started 1st, Vroman started 2nd, and Richard Garcia started 8th. So, I mean, yeah, Martinsville is a... Yeah. What's the word I'm looking for?
She-show. Very big she-show.
A bleep show. There we go.
Sure, that's what I said. Anyway, Conklin, you know, we've already had one nickname come up for him tonight, right? The Child. We've already had that nickname. That was yours. I think I'm going to call him Miley, because he has turned into a complete wrecking ball.
That is
over the last 50 laps.
That is uncalled for.
Does he run over his teammate? And look, if he goes a full tie Gibbs, listen to me. If he goes tie Gibbs, he's Miley.
Alrighty. What's the bets that we make it through the second green white checker and make it to the white flag?
I think we make it. I
don't think we make it.
Well, we're about to find out. Garrett Maines through 3 and 4. Is this the time? Can Conklin get to his back bumper and move him? Maybe get this race win back, or is Garrett Maines going to be the one to do it? Conklin stays side by side in the restart zone. He could have a chance off of 2.
No, he doesn't get the run off the corner. Now he's got Nicholas Vroman for company there to start. And farther back, Cabe McClinney trying to make a move on Ed Scherer Jr. Conklin, though, going to keep it in second position, and it looks like they will make the white flag here.
Yeah, and Conklin has found himself with a little bit of right front damage, perhaps hurting him. Oh, he gets moved by his teammates! Nicholas Roman moves! Sean Conklin, and Conklin's dropping through the pack, perhaps out of the top 10. Nicholas Roman up to second, but it's going to be Garrett Maines coming out of turn number 4 to win the Ryco Performance Friday night NiS Open from the Martinsville Speedway. And they're wrecking down the front straightaway. Jason Wallot's around. Oh, Joshua Watson once again backwards across the start-finish line. Oh, huge accident as the 41 comes in for no reason. Okay, well, that was it. That was Martinsville Speedway for you. Not too surprising. Everything went to craziness at the end. Edward Shore Jr. somehow flipped, finished 7th. Unfortunately, dropped a couple spots. Sean Conklin ends up coming home in 8th after getting moved by his teammate for 2nd place on the last lap.
That is... We need a clip of that entire last restart and just put the subtitle over it. Martinsville summed up.
Well, I, for one, am very glad. I am very glad because we do not have to see this place for a whole another 6 months. 7 months, I actually believe. Not until we get into November. So, luckily, we have Garrett Maines here doing burnouts down on the front straightaway to send this place off into the distance for at least the next 6 or so months. Congratulations to Garrett Maines for winning Ryco Performance Friday night, NiS Top Split on GridVision. We're going to jump into our final commercial break of the evening. On the other side, we're going to have interviews. Stick with us. Welcome back into the Ryco Performance Friday night Top Split NiS action. Garrett Maines, of course. Who else but Garrett Maines winning the NiS Open on Friday night? Nicholas Roman in 2nd place. Brandon Masajewski in 3rd. Kay McClenny 4th. Richard Garcia 5th. Sean Signor from 36 on the grid up to 6th place. Sean Conklin finishes 8th, and I completely skipped over Edward Shore Jr. as he was upside down earlier in the event. Somehow got up to 7th. John Payson in 9th, and Jason Wallout rounds out your top 10.
Finishing in 11th position tonight is going to be Trevor Trago in 12th position. It's going to be Jacob Klein. John Broussard in 13th position. Ronnie Curitz in 14th. Daniel Forgerini, I guess, is going to be finishing in 15th. The last car on the lead lap. Rob Peterson finishing 16th. The first car 1 lap down. Tommy Gossett in 17th position. Nolan Hodgson 18th. Joshua Watson in 19th. And Lucas Lodato going to be finishing in the 20th position.
21st is going to be James Miller, 22nd, Tanner Love, 23rd, Miller Bonds, Lewis Edinger, 24th, J.R. Borborema, 25th, Andrew Dyson, 26th, Dalton Collins, goodness gracious, so much happened to Dalton Collins tonight, 28th, Alex Murray, 27th, awkward order between those two on the grid, Chris Wilhite in 29th, Adam Thompson, 30th, Roger Pierce, Jose Acosta, Kyle Trudell, Tyler Robinson, Sean Rogers, and Bruno Pereira round out your 36-car grid here tonight for the Ryco Performance Friday Night Top Split from the Martinsville Speedway. We're going to jump straight into our post-race interviews. We just have the top 2 finishers in the Discord for you here tonight, so we're going to jump into our interview with our 2nd place finisher, Nicholas Roman. Nick Stein's going to be standing side by side with him.
Nicholas Roman, I mean, that was a interesting race to say the least. Why not? Let's just hear your take throughout that entire race. What did you see? What did you think of that entire bleep show?
Well, I spun myself on the caution by myself. That was pretty funny. Just after I was talking shit to Watson, how he wrecks all the time. I don't know. It's Martinsville. That's how it's gonna go. We did have a couple good runs, so those were pretty fun.
Yeah, you ended up finishing second place there, a little bit controversially, I gotta say. Yeah, you did send your teammate into the corner there. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I probably got in the gas a little too soon. That's all I really gotta say.
Yeah, well, fair enough. And sorry, looking ahead to Texas next week. It's a boring track. Wow, what else you got to say about it?
I'm looking forward to Texas. It should hopefully a lot cleaner. I feel like last week at Richmond was pretty rough. We kind of figured this week was going to be rough as well. So hopefully we get back to some good, clean, green flag racing. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun.
And lastly, anyone you got to thank who gets it done for you every week?
Everybody at Ryco, man. Jacob Schneider. He puts in a lot of time into this. All the guys do, man. But no one compares to him. Ken, he puts in a lot of time in this as well. We're still not friends, but he knows that. Shout out to you guys in the booth, man. It's always fun to go back and watch these races, listen to your viewpoints.
You'll have fun.
Always a blast.
Oh yeah, you'll have fun with this one.
I'm sure I am, and congrats to Garrett to winning, man. It was a fun race when it was green, but this is kind of expected tonight. So looking forward to Texas.
Yeah, congratulations on the P2 tonight, Roman. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
All right, see you next week.
That was our P2 finisher of Nicholas Roman. Next up, we're gonna pull up Garrett Maines, our race winner. Garrett, I was about to say becoming a common occurrence, but let's be honest, it's been a common occurrence. Seeing that 12 in victory lane for what, past decade or so. So how's it feel bringing it home at Martinsville here with the Caution Fest race that we had tonight?
Well, I was just watching the restart on like lap 68, and I really thought that might have been the turning point to go away from me. I mean, we didn't really get any runs until the long one, and I will say I was having a really hard time keeping pace behind him. I don't know what changed, but I mean, Sean was fast tonight. That first run I felt really good, but when I got behind him, it kind of flipped on me. But came back at me there at the end. I think I needed to make a change on the setup because it was night and day difference at the end of the race. But yeah, just the cautions were annoying, that's for sure. I really enjoyed the 2 runs that we did get. I mean, we got like 40 laps once and 60 laps another time, and that was, that was a good throwdown. Me and Alex were crossing each other up on one of those restarts, probably 3-4 laps. Just, third lane to bottom, just crossing each other over. And that was a blast, but wish we got a little bit more of that. I'm glad we were able to bring it home tonight. I mean, I would have been pretty upset pacing that long to not have closed the deal there at the end, so happy to have actually got it done this week. I think the last 2 races, Richmond and Bristol, I've gotten robbed on like 2 to go with the pit strategy, so yeah, I feel like that wasn't the case, thankfully, and we were able to bring it home.
I'm interested that you were just as miffed as we were in the broadcast booth about kind of the flip switch between you and Conklin, because we noticed that you were obviously faster in the first big stint that we had, and then the second one, it was the complete opposite. So we were very lost about that. What were you thinking after that restart and seeing Sean fall through the field, though, getting involved in cautions and whatnot? Did you kind of feel, okay, it's your race to lose at that point after he kind of mired himself back in the weeds?
Well, I knew, on that start when I lined up 7th and he lined up 6th, it was just going to be who was more aggressive at the right times. And going into 1, there wasn't really an opportunity for either one of us. And we know how that went down, and unfortunately that didn't pay a dividend for him. I was able to get through there, and I mean, that was pretty much it. I mean, we had the tire advantage. If we had just, let it shape out, I don't know how it would have finished, but I felt like I was in a strong position there. I was actually kind of baffled as to how he came out 6th, because I absolutely beat him out of the pits. But hey, that's a whole nother conversation. So I will take the starting position I got. That was fortunate that it scored me the opposite way I thought I should have been, and it led to us getting the win tonight. So no complaints here.
Yeah, did y'all come to a stop coming out of pit road trying to game the system there on that caution?
I took 2 tires and it was freaking closed when I came back around.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, both of us just sat there with pit road closed, and I reacted to it opening back up. No question before him, but it still gave it to him. I was like, ain't no way. But that's why I was really upset, because I was like, I just disadvantaged myself taking 2 tires and still got beat. But just fortunate positioning there on the restart, and all those cautions, I mean, it started to not matter. So I was able to make an adjustment on pit road anyway, and I think that's what I needed to do, because I was kind of getting floaty down in the corners and wasn't sure I had it exactly where I wanted it. So I played with some stuff, and I think it worked out for us.
Well, congrats, Garrett, on bringing home the checkered flag tonight and the Ryco Performance Friday night top split NIS Open. Are there any shout-outs you can give here at the end of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Got to give a huge shout out to MCU Body, Linux, the guys at Ryco Performance for another killer car. I haven't been around very much this week because I've been out of town traveling for work, but they put together one heck of a piece while I was gone, so happy to show up on Friday night and get it done. Also, thank you to Left Court Brothers and FGRXL for their support.
Well, congrats once again, Garrett, and looking forward to seeing you next week once again whenever we go racing from the Texas Motor Speedway.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that was our first place finisher, race winner, Garrett Maines. Next up, we can bring up our third place finisher. He eventually came through, but I did just do the interview, so I think I should throw this over to my buddy Nick.
Well, Brandon, that was a fun race, I guess is a good way to put it, but you started 33rd position tonight and somehow managed to come home in 3rd position. Go and walk us through that race from your perspective, because we saw you in the middle of a ton of chaos tonight, and yet you were still able to come home with a top 3 tonight.
Yeah, we were just trying to plug away with the same idea. Just bide our time through the field and try to stay out of trouble. And right at the end there, we found ourselves towards the front and tried to make some moves and came out smelling like roses, P3.
Yeah, P3 is always good, especially at a track like Martinsville. And, you know, looking ahead to Texas next week, are you planning on doing any of the NIS next week?
Yes, I am. I probably do Friday night, maybe Sunday morning, depending on my schedule and everything going on. But hopefully be there and try to rebound with some good momentum going forward.
Yeah, congratulations on the P3 today. Anyone you got to thank? Who gets it done for you?
Ryco on the car. I mean, having that under the hood is just amazing. This car handled great all week. We had some pretty good finishes throughout the week, and you know, we're able to kind of get ourselves into good positions here, and just got to keep the car clean, and she'll be fast. And then also shout out to High Side and all the boys over there. Chris gave me a little spotting help at the end. Unfortunately, he got caught up in some incidents, but just having him in my ear, letting me know what's going on where, just that little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, it was having that advantage definitely was a big help, considering how crazy the last, 50 laps of that race was with everything going on. So congratulations on the P3 tonight, Brandon, and hopefully we'll see you here next week.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you guys.
That wraps up the interviews here tonight on GridVision for the Ryco Performance Friday night NIS Top Split. Big congratulations to Garrett Maines for winning the race tonight. Not really a big surprise. We're going to jump into our schedule, though, to give you guys an idea of what's coming up this week on the grid. Tomorrow night, we're going to bring you back to Texas Motor Speedway as the Champion Power Equipment iRacing Truck Series takes it on. It was barn burner last time that the Champion Power Equipment Series was there, and I bet it's going to be very, very similar. And then, as Nick Stein mentioned earlier, the Thunderclap Series on Wednesday night takes on the old Texas Motor Speedway, so at least we get a little bit of variety. And then Friday night, once again, the normal Texas Motor Speedway with the next-gen vehicles with the Ryco Performance Friday night top split. That's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday night. And obviously Thursday, look at that, TNT turns in May. So a lot of action coming to you live on the grid throughout the next couple of months. Can't wait to get the middle of racing season underway. It just gets so busy, so hectic, and so many races to call and broadcast for everybody at home. I'd like to thank everybody for watching along. I don't know what in the world I'm even trying to say. This race has just been absolutely insane, so I'm just going to keep it nice, short, and sweet. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Austin Edstrom. Nick Stein was alongside me. Austin Derbyshire was here too. We'll see you next week on The Grid.